back from our big summer trip for over a month now. And it's time to do some of our regular maintenance on our Ibex. Today we're going to grease the bearings, which is something that's recommended for at least once a year, sometimes every 6 months if you're using the trailer a lot. We have about 5,000 miles on our trailer right now, so it's definitely time. And this is something that you can get a lot of your dealerships or RV technicians to do, but we thought, let's do it ourselves and show you guys how it goes. And a bit later in this episode, we're going to cover an in-depth review and tour of our Ibex in action over the summer, and cover the things that we like and some of the things that aren't so great about this particular trailer. So for this job, I picked up this. It's a pistol grip grease gun by Lucas Oil Products, and it's sort of a middle of the line grease gun from Home Depot. I also picked up these extra heavy duty grease containers. I got 4, thinking with the 4 axles we have, that would be perfect. I dropped one of these as I was coming out the door, and so the top is cracked. It is green instead of the pink, which I've seen most of the grease. But yeah, let's open these up, see what we can discover about this. So we have the Easy Lube type of wheel bearings, which you can grease without having to take the whole bearing assembly apart and pack by hand. So this could potentially be a pretty easy project. I think that even if you have to take the bearings apart and pack them by hand, it's still within most people's skill level to do this themselves. So instead of jacking the RV up with the bottle jack, we're going to drive onto this ramp, which will suspend the back tire so we can rotate it and inject the grease as we're turning it. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
Dang.
That's some clearance right there.
Ooh, listen to that.
Ooh. Is that the bearings?
It's the bearings, yeah. So this pops off, and then you've got a little rubber seal in here, and this pops off too. Alright, so the greasing itself is pretty straightforward. This will just latch right in to the center nub, and you can see somehow it catches onto there. And then you're just going to want to start injecting the grease in. And it'll take a little while for the grease to work its way through and come around through the bearings and out the front here. And you'll see the old dirty grease starting to come out around here. And you just want to keep injecting it until all of the dirty grease has come out and it's just full of the clean new grease. It's a very messy process, so what you're going to want is a roll of paper towels, or they recommend shop towels, but I don't have any shop towels, so this should work pretty good. Definitely a lot easier than taking the whole bearing assembly apart and packing the grease in there by hand. When you're done, there's probably an easier way to remove it, but I can't seem to figure that out. Anyway, just make sure it's really clean and put back together and move on to the next tire. So we just have to do the other 2 wheels on the sunny side and we'll be done. I'm a little disappointed that there was no dirty grease that came out. That shows that there was not a lot of grease in our bearings to begin with. Something you might want to check if you've got a new RV. Check your bearings. It could be a big disaster otherwise. All right, now some of our review from our past trip. We'll go over some of the likes and dislikes of this particular model. Well, we've been on the road for 8 weeks now, and we thought it was about time that we share with you some of our likes and dislikes of our Ibex.
Come on over, I'll show you around. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the inside before we do the outside, because everybody wants to know the inside and how do we store things and how does everything function for us for 2 months. So come on in. So we have this really handy ambient light, and in here Mike and I have developed a system where we have hanging clothes and a shoe storage rack where we store like t-shirts and shorts and, you know, bits and bobs, socks, whatnot. It's really deep, so I have like some really warm jackets and scarves and things that we don't always use. So it's been really handy. Not many complaints there. I think Mike's biggest complaint is stepping over here when the dog's laying here and the bed's out. But other than that, it's worked really well. Counter space. We are short on counter space. So every little bit of counter space, there's cups and coffee mugs and, you know, whatnot all the way around. And we're really glad we installed this additional counter space right here. This has been really great for, you know, additional things, dish drying, that type of stuff. We've been using a water filter. This worked really well, mainly myself and Ben. The 2 burner stove has worked perfectly. Not once have we missed having a 3rd one. So no complaints there. We use a microwave when we plug into shore power. Otherwise, it's our handy dandy bread box. This works really wonderful. Down here, this is where we store all our pots and pans, blender, that type of thing. It's worked really well, no complaints there. We have no issues traveling. Above the kitchen area, we have our plates. We have some ceramic ones for the microwave, some plastic ones, just, you know, ease. We store our mugs in here, bowls. I don't like to refrigerate my butter, so it goes up there. And as you can see, our oils and spices and coffee all set up here. So this has worked really well for us for the last 2 months. Over here, we have the fridge. The fridge has worked really great. It's a perfect size fridge for this rig. We have a, I forget how big it is. We have one of those coolers in the back of a truck. It's mainly for drinks and Gatorades and my drinkies and sodas and things like that, and overflow of groceries when we go to the grocery store when we're going to be out in the boonies for a long time. But it holds a lot of stuff. As you can see, there's condiments and eggs and, you know, all sorts of stuff. It's worked really well. So I'm very pleased with that. Freezer, we have a lot of Hot Pockets. Yeah, a lot of Hot Pockets. Of course, we're at Auntie's house, so there's a microwave inside, and we're not plugged into shore power. So I love this fridge. It's working great. And it's kept up with all the hot climates and heating and cooling, that type of stuff. This is our pantry. The top shelf tends to be like, you know, cereals and snacks and peanut butter and, you know, juices, that type of thing. And here we have our middle shelf where we keep our rice and noodles and, you know, food. When we're stationary, we will put out our doodads, as you've seen in our previous videos. I'm hanging up the doodads, but they're in here because we haven't needed them. And below we have our silverware. We love having a caddy so we can take it outside when we're eating and cooking outside. That's worked really well for us. Come on into the bathroom. So the bathroom, it's functional, it's great. I don't think we have any complaints with the bathroom. The only thing I will have to say is when we are on city water hookup, the water pressure is really low. So we prefer to take a shower if we're running the pump from our holding tank. But other than that, it's a bathroom. Store our laundry in here. We have a little tiny trash can that squeezes in there. That's worked really well. Our cabinet's been perfect for all our things, no issues. Our towels, everything has been really great and functional.
So this little faucet right here, much too short. It barely goes over the back of the sink. If you want to wash your fingertips, that's great, but getting a handful or rinsing off your hands, nearly impossible. One thing I'm planning on switching out is this faucet.
Kids' bunks. Let's talk about the bunks. So right now our 16-year-old is sleeping on the top and our 11-year-old is on the bottom. They flip-flopped halfway through the trip to try out what it's like to be on opposite bunks. And I don't think they have many complaints. I think for Benjamin's bunk, he's on the lower one, we are going to get him a 2-inch foam topper because he's feeling the crease in the bunk where it folds up from the outside. Our eldest son, he already has one on here. As you can see, it's lived in, it's not made. Welcome to living on the road for 2 months. Up here on these additional cabinets above the dinette. So this is where we keep our DVDs for our off-grid. There's no internet movie watching. We have all extra, charging cords and things like that. That's worked really great. This is a bit of a mess. Here we have supplements like, magnesium and vitamins and blah, blah, blah. Well, right now it's our bread storage. I just went to the grocery store again. But, we have games and books and binoculars and chips. So many chips. But this has worked great. Nothing has fallen out on the road. I've been really pleased with these cabinets. The dinette, as you can see, Oliver is using the dinette. It's been great. Usually the kids hang out here and Mike and I will hang out on the couch. So this Murphy bed has been a really great design. So all you have to do is flip up the couch, release this little peg over here, and then down comes our bed. We usually do lower this cabinet just so that it's not hitting the bed and Mike's feet aren't, kicking the table there. But this is such a great bed. So sleeping on this for 2 months, I have to say I really enjoyed it. But we have noticed is beginning to have a divot in the middle of the mattress. So we need to come up with an idea of either getting a new mattress or a new topper for it or something to improve that little bit of a divot. But I have to say, I thoroughly enjoy the window. I will wake up during the night and I can see the stars and the moon. It's my looky-loo spot. So back here is where, in these cubbies, which I don't know if you can see or not, is where Mike and I have little baskets and we have various items. So for example, my socks and underwear and things like that. And below, yes, we have this. I keep my book and some drawing things and that type of thing. We also use reflectix for the front window. So when it's super, super hot, like in the Canyonlands and desert, it's 100 degrees, it really helps keep the camper cool. So we cut it to size and we stick it in the window and it really helps a lot. And actually, we used it when we first camped for New Year's in the winter and it helped keep us really warm. So I really highly recommend using Reflectix in your camper if you've ever felt hot or cold. I installed these cute little battery operated lights go above our bunk. It's so sweet. So we have these, the lights from our cupboards, and we have lights underneath the stove which light up, and it creates this really nice cozy ambiance of a camper. So yeah, we really enjoy that.
Not a big fan of these steps. As sturdy as they are, don't quite work for me. You can see right now that we have the leg of the stairs taken out. We are leveled slightly in this direction, and just that slight level means that with the feet in, the stairs are too high. The stairs have to be level or the door will not close. So, in my opinion, the stairs come down too far. If there's any sort of a curb or a slope up in this direction, it makes the stairs useless with the closing door. So, probably something Ibex needs to work on. A very slow drain on both the black and the gray tanks. I think it's because the enclosed underbelly means that there has to be a more circuitous route for the water to get to the drain, but it takes forever at a dump station to completely drain both of those tanks. All of the functions have been working great. The water system, the electric system, hot water heater, great on both electric and gas. Refrigerator, great on both electric and gas as well. We do have issues with the monitors here. Gray tank seems to be okay. Black tank we've only used for one night and it shows 2/3 full. That can't possibly be right. Freshwater tank I think is probably okay. Battery, we have a lithium battery. This sensor is for a lead acid battery, so it's going to tell us it's full even if it's only half full.
We decided to upgrade our mattress. The other one, which, you know, was basically just foam, and it worked fine for the 2 months we're on the road, but it was developing, you know, divots where we were lying. So we debated what to do about that, and we went back and forth between a 3-inch mattress topper versus finding a mattress just to replace it. So I ordered this mattress off of Costco, and it's Comfort Tech brand 10-inch serene foam mattress, and I guess it has the, oh my gosh, some pure rating where it doesn't have certain fire retardants in it. So it was kind of like the best deal around, and it, I think this weighs 67 pounds. It was the lightest we could find. But yeah, so we are going to take out the old mattress, open this up, let it expand. It should be able to let us put the Murphy bed up. This does say it's suitable for adjustable beds, so I don't know. I guess you will see what that means. Oh yes, take all the bedding off.
Should I open it up?
Yeah, let's start.
It's not going to explode like a life raft in here and smash us up against the wall,
Well, I
is
think
it?
we should lay it down and then. So we've just had a phone topper on here. I mean, it's all like sun worn and stuff, but it's just foam. I mean, it's not terrible.
We're out of space.
We're out of space. Can put it on the bunk. I mean, this is still kind of heavy. I will have to take it out.
You take it out. I'll figure out how we're going to do this part. Yeah. Sure, just put it in there.
We should. Okay.
It's like sticky.
Oh. Save the bag to put it around the other one. My goodness. Expandable bed. There it goes.
Oh, look at...
Wow, that's kind of cool. I thought I could. Ooh! Oh, look at that! What do you think?
It looks nice. It's never going to be this nice and white ever again, even with sheets on it.
Oh wow! That's pretty. Oh wow! Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Is it?
Yeah, you should lay down.
Okay. Oh. Oh.
Right? Huh.
That's really interesting. It's half squishy, half firm.
Uh-huh.
It does fit in here, up. I think it's under a lot of tension and it's pushing pretty hard against this board.
Yeah,
So we might have to travel with the bed in the down position. Our dealer told us to always travel with it up, but we haven't. I've heard some people say always travel with it down. What do you guys think? Let us know if you've heard one way or the other.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward to a good, comfy new bed. That's going to be great. So it's now well into fall, and there's freeze warnings coming up for later in the week. So stay tuned. We're going to do a winterization episode pretty soon. We have a little bit of leeway, though, because this particular unit has the heated tanks. So we're going to leave these on. We're plugged into shore right now, and we can leave the tank heaters on because we have some fresh water in there. All right, guys, thanks. I know this was kind of a long, involved one, but had a lot to cover. So
Yay.
we'll see you again soon.
Right. Bye.